good day, my viewers and listeners. I am Makeba Evans, and this is Moments with Me. Today, we have a blessed guest that's going to sit down and allow us to pick his mind in the industry of our youth. This is like a conversation that is near and dear to my heart because I have 6 sons. Fortunately, my children have not had to be in an environment like this young man works in. But, I just met him. God put him in my life, and he allowed me to ask him a few questions. And then he said that he would come and sit down and allow me to share that information with you. Would you mind introducing yourselves to us?
I'm Aaron Williams.
Okay. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. Can you give us a synopsis of what sort of work that you do?
Well, I'm in the line of business with, I want to say, a residential treatment facility dealing with our troubled youth and also displaced or homeless youth. And it's pretty much like, dealing with the problem of our adolescents.
Okay. How long have you been in this industry?
I want to say dealing with coaching and just dealing with youth period, I want to say about 5 years.
Okay. Well, your passion for this industry, can you explain where that would have come from?
It really comes from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
It comes from the heart. It comes from how I was brought up. It comes from the trials and tribulations I kind of met along, my lifeline. And, we all know that, experience is, one of the best teachers out here.
Yeah, that's true, for sure. Okay, so you said, and it really amazes me, I was really so oblivious to the amount of homeless youth that we have that are living in these weekly pay motels on the side of the highways. That really, warms my heart because a lot of them are homeless with their parents and then some maybe not with their parents. So when you get the children, and what ages do you have at the facility?
Well, if I can recollect correctly, I think it's 13 to 18.
Okay.
13 to 18.
Okay. And so is it something that they can volunteer for? Is it court mandated?
Well, I think it's all voluntary because the guys
Okay.
have to, they have to agree to the to the agreement, and they have to agree to the treatments and
Okay.
stuff like that. It's part of the contract they sign when they come in, so it's voluntary.
Okay. Do they have curfews, or can they come and go as they please?
No, ma'am. It's a lockdown facility because we do deal with level 5 juveniles, and if you into the DJJ system, level 5 is like the worst of the worst. So it is a lockdown facility, and it's very structured because many times when we're faced with the level 5, they don't have any structure, and you see when they are met with it, all they know to do is explode. So it's really treating their minds as to how to deal with structure and move about in America in a free way.
So is 5 the top?
I think so, yes, ma'am. Level 5 is like the worst of the worst.
Wow. Yeah.
Dealing with juveniles.
So some of the children come to you guys different levels mentally and education-wise. So in the facility, are there resources for the mental, psychological stuff and education? Is all that done there?
Pretty much everything. Everything is hands-on in the facility. I'm a part of a team that we have on-call, on-site doctors, nurses, therapists, numerous amounts of paraprofessionals, in the counseling world, and I think they speak weekly with us, a counselor, psychologist, and they meet weekly with doctors. So they have all the resources they need, like in one package.
Okay.
So that's why it's like they don't have to leave.
Okay. Do you guys take field trips?
Of course, you can't keep 15 to 30 adolescent boys in the building and you don't take them out and let them breathe.
Okay.
You won't have a building if you keep them in there. But,
right. A lot of our youth, unfortunately, are living in a single parent household, whether that's the father that's there or the mother that's there, but most of the time it's the mother that's there. Are they able to talk about the fact that they only have one parent at the home and how it's affecting them?
I mean, it's like I have a son of my own, but it's when I'm at work, I feel like I have however many kids we're dealing with that day. I have that many sons because, as we know, kids they will talk and they soak up everything. So these kids are vocal. These kids are, once you build a rapport with a kid, he sometimes he only wants to talk to you.
Yeah.
And like I say, you may be considered the bottom level, or middle level, or you have your administrators in the building. Sometimes that kid wants to go talk to someone he feels like can see him at his level.
Yeah.
So yes, ma'am, they give you so much substance to deal with, and that's why I love it.
Yeah. Well, being able to vocalize that and not lash out is something that you guys have to deal with often too, because you can't listen to anybody and they normally can't express themselves in a space of anger. So how do you guys deal with that when they get those outbursts or become irate like that?
And that's a great question. I'm glad you asked me that. I think that comes with also being able to relate, because so many young black males get like pushed to the side because they don't know how to express their emotions.
Right.
And so 9 times out of 10 when they do express it, it comes off as just an angry young black man. And that's what we deal with daily. Like, I have great coworkers and strong men themselves, and man, we talk to them daily, telling them like, hey, you have to express yourself. It's okay to express yourself and talk. That's what men do. Little boys cry out. Like, think about a baby when they're hungry, they cry out. Like, that's what they do. So, we try to talk to them about lashing out daily.
Okay, so in this field that you're in, do you find an even distribution of men and women there to help?
I don't want to sound biased, but our women, period. Let me just, can I say this?
Oh, please.
Our women, period, have been the front runners for us here, and I'm just being honest, and that's why I have so much passion about helping young men, is because it's supposed to be our job to be the front runners. Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, you do see a lot more nurturing in this field than you do see the structuring, from the males. Like,
okay. So are we a lot more tolerant and don't put our foot down enough as we need to, would you say?
I can't say that because, because I was raised by, a woman that put the fear of God in me, and it's like, I'm glad she did that, but also on the flip side, I understand and say yes, because our women are natural nurturers. Yeah. That's naturally where, the baby gets his, his ego stroked, and men are usually the strict, and so yes, I can agree to that. Women kind of are more on the nurturing side, but that is what's needed. That's why we need the males there also, so they can see and visualize the male, and it brings balance. Yeah. It's okay to be emotional and express yourself, but okay, over here, this is how you do it. You don't lash out. It's consequences when you lash out. Right. And that's what we try to bring is balance.
So you're saying that level 5. So would your facility be the step before incarceration?
Actually, our facility is, I would say, right in the middle, because we get guys right from incarceration, and it's usually like a benefit for them to come and go through our program, because it's like they may be facing commitment for 3 years, and if they come complete the 6 to 9 month program, they can get recommendations to knock, and help them out or whatever, and get a chance to get caught up in the school. We have school on campus, get them a chance, if they want to get the GED, they're able to do that. So it's like, they got programs to where if they leave there, complete the program, and you are homeless and you need, man, they set them up with job corporations, and I feel like they have a lot of resources, and a lot of kids do take advantage of it.
Like a trade, learn a trade, maybe?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wow. You know, we've all seen, or many of us have seen Scared Straight. Like, do you guys have something like that where you because, you know, once the children get in the system, you know, in school, there's like a folder, and it just starts filling up with papers, and before they even see you, you got this big old folder, and it's probably not papers anymore, it's digital, but you know, the file gets bigger, the numbers, the megabytes, the gigabytes. Like, you don't want to be a big digital folder or a paper folder in anybody's computer, because they judge you before they even see you or meet you. So is scaring a tactic that's helpful? But different people are reached in different ways. So.
Factual.
Yeah.
That's factual.
Yeah.
And I would say scaring could be very dangerous too, because someone scared could backfire on you.
Yeah.
You know. So even with my, you know, stature as a male, and it's pretty big, I even have to teeter a line, you know, even when I'm trying to work with that kid. When I say work with them, it's like break the ice to get to his mental. Okay. And sometimes it takes, you know, getting in the kid's face and letting them know that, you know, hey, you know, you don't scare me, and I'm a man, and I'm gonna show you what men do. But 9 times out of 10, when that child is faced with that from a man, they feel it, and it's like they know when to, you know, buckle down and listen. But sometimes it takes that, because that's all that particular kid is ever known. I've seen ones, that met ones that have, unfortunately, you know, have taken lives, have and can speak about it, and speak about the nightmares that they have and things like that, and they want to know that someone cares about them. And I'm like, if these guys can sit here and talk about this stuff, they done stood in front of countless amounts of people that's getting, you know, this and that resources to help them, they won't break and tell them anything. So sometimes I wonder what makes us special, that they want to tell us all of this. And sometimes they just feel like, hey man, I feel like you care about me.
Yeah. Definitely. I grew up on the West Coast, and when we moved here, it was like 99, 2000. So the gang scene hadn't made it here. Or it was like, I think the Asian people were kind of doing some gang stuff. It definitely wasn't like on the West Coast, because I've lost a lot of friends and family members to that. But when you were just stating that they, you know, that they're looking for love and compassion, and in that is family, and they find that in the gang. A lot of people are leaning that way, but to me, it's not love. I mean, I watch TV, so jump you in, like, is that you whooping on me? Is that really a sign of affection? I mean, I don't know if that's real. I've never been.
Yes. I mean, now it's like you can get on, you know, it's crazy. You can get on Google and know more about the street gangs than some guys in the street gangs, you know. And so it's been put on the microscope, and it's like, it's making our youth fascinated with it. And you have touched on some real things. And if I can make it make sense, I would say that someone can look at that as love, as if, let me just give you just a blunt, blunt example. 7 to 8 guys jumping me in, I can look at that as love when I walk out the house every day and my people don't care if I got, you know, shoes on my feet, clothes on my back. They don't care. But now when I pass by, a.k.a. Lil Joe, and he didn't put, you know, a couple $100 in my pocket, you know, told me to go buy me some shoes. All he want me to do is come over here and help him get rid of, you know, the pack or whatever they say. To them, that's love. Yeah. You know, the social media, the entertainment world, they soaking this in daily. Yeah. So he want them Giuseppe's. He want them Bally's. He want them Balenciagas. He come from, like you say, and it's not necessarily boils down to money or what you can do financially, but when they can relate that to love, and they don't have anybody else in their ear that's giving them structure and really telling them what love is, and if somebody loved you, they wouldn't try to beat you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that now at 31,
Yeah.
you know, but it's hard telling the 13-year-old that when that's all he see, you know.
True.
They'll beat him up, but then they'll go around, get high with him, and you know, to him that's love. Because guess what? Half of the times, kids just want somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
And these guys talking to them, they talking
Teaching
to them,
them
they
street
teaching them,
knowledge
they
and-
teaching them
yeah.
stuff. Kids are sponges; they want to soak up things.
Yeah.
So if these guys are the only ones that's willing to grab them by the hand and show them what they want to know, hey, the good guys, I would say, need to get out there and grab them by the hands and show them what they want to know.
Yeah.
Because they will listen. We see that.
And I guess that's a lot to have to deal with when you leave your home. If you're, if you see, AKA Lil Joe, you know, and that's pressure. What set you gonna claim?
It's mental pressure. It's physical pressure. It's scary pressure to some of these youth. You know, because I promise you, when you take the guns away, when you take the 20 guys behind you on the same set away, they turn right back to kids.
Yeah.
They turn right back to babies.
Yeah.
And that's the that's what I'm trying to get to understand. And it's like, it has to be a mental break somewhere in there to get them to understand, like, hey, if you go down this road, this is pretty much in stone.
So when the children, the youth, I'm going to say children, so many different ages, but when they come to the facility where you are, that's removing them from that negative environment. But I know a lot of them bring it with them. And I like to speak about, I just kind of think of it like a monster. So whether it's a monster facade that you had to create physically yourself to protect you from whatever it is out there, or whether it really is a monster in the streets that you're trying to protect yourself from, or a monster at home. You could have an abusive parent. Like, that's just such an unfortunate space to have to really live in. And it's exist in, because you're not living. You're not living if you're walking around on defense all the time, trying to protect yourself from someone. So when they're removed from that environment, is that the moment that you were speaking about? I guess that would be your breakthrough, when you guys are able to get to and through that monster to really meet the person that's underneath that facade that they put on themselves. But then it's like, once they finally leave the facility, they go home, and then they gotta like almost turn it back on, or be strong enough to resist whatever those temptations are. Do you keep in touch with the kids sometimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones that I feel like, really need and want it. Well, it's crazy to say need.
Yeah.
But the ones that really, I want to say want the change, because you can tell who want it and who don't.
Yeah.
You'll get from A to Z. And A will be the ones that, hey man, they really don't know, they was misled.
Yeah.
Oh, I can be cool and still I can have tattoos and not be in and out of jail. I can work every day and get some money instead of taking it.
Yeah.
And you got the ones on Z that's, man, this all I know, and this what I'm gonna do. And mama did it, daddy did it, uncle did it. I ain't got no choice. And like you said, once you break them from that monster, that's all they know. Yes, you can see breakthrough. That's when you see, because he's not clouded by, uncle and them, this and what he's seeing every day he wake up.
Yeah.
And the minute they leave that facility, you're exactly right. They have to go right back into the valley of the shadow, and it's like, that is fighting a monster. That's fighting a monster.
It is.
And you go back home to people and parents telling you that you don't need this help. They don't know what they're doing. It's a facade. It's all a facade. It's all smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah, because your family that loves you shouldn't want you to go out and make money however you can to bring money into the house. If they know that what you're doing is not healthy, and there could be jail time, prison time, lose your life behind it. Like, that's not really a loving environment. I mean, but it's so unfortunate that a lot of our youth are living in that space. Yeah.
And we got to break that. We got to break that. We got to break that stigma. This is saying, okay, what is success? because I work with guys every day that think success is, you know, the Bentley coupe or the big house and the big parties, but it's like, you know, and like I say, it goes back to capitalism, money, and I try to explain to them, man, when you're a millionaire, you're probably gonna have millionaire problems.
Yeah.
You know, when you're $100 guy, you're probably gonna have $100 guy problems. So success needs to be pretty much what makes you happy.
True.
It's like, judge your success of how happy you are.
I hope you enjoyed Moments with Me, Episode 1, The Truth About Our Youth. Stay tuned for Episode 2. And Aaron Williams is going to end our segment. We're going to play a few of his words behind some music. Enjoy.
Somebody say, when they go home and take the sheets off, they go home and put that black cloak on. Now they turn to a judge.